So the likely scenario, and what I believe, and I believe this actually very much so, is that and this isn't the most paramount thing, but this is the most important thing in the futile minds of other people, right? And feudalism, that they have to pay something first. Futile, as in your efforts are futile, is that there is no God, right? For many people, they're fine with that. They've always known that. They believed that. The belief in God, however, creates this connection through community, it's of a higher tier, a higher mind, that the God would be created through the mind of union, and that things like grace, right, would be able to emerge. These higher tier, the final 3 to 5 principles, right? When you have, um, so basically an EPL, and this makes principles even more important, right? But that souls in a more classical sense, because when you look at when you prove that a circuitry can work, and you are a theoretical sort of abstract ego, as the master key system likes to refer to people as. And once you can go into this, what I call a Zinzek operation, and prove that you can understand and become learned, and from that learned aspect bear fruits, and that you are put in a system where instead of saying woe is me, you begin to fight back, and then it's like, but there's laws, you can't do that. But these people are complete despots, and they're, you know, singling out, and there's racism, and yes, all that exists. That's why this planet is shit. It's shit. People are shit. And so when you look at all that, and then you factor in, yeah, but you have a soul, and that brings the whole thing to a head where you go, oh my God, there's no God. I have a soul, and that soul lives on. And then you begin to see what the fuck is going on with people. Why they've known this all along, right? And it's alarming, right? And some people have gone into the process of, well, this is how I survive, right? But once you begin to make the efforts of survival, you are showing your true stripes. You're showing what you're all about. You're showing all your cards. Your cards are shown to the entire universe. You use what you have. You develop yourself to your fullness. You do it against all odds. You come out how it comes out, right? And that is the determining factor as to whether or not you ever mattered in the first place. Yeah, you're going to fuck up. Yeah, you're going to capitulate, sell your ass like you're a whore in many instances. Come back, see that there's more to you, see that you never lost anything. Like every single age, you'll always be 9 forever in the physical form. You'll always be able to visit that age and become that. And that's the type of Western thinking that is flawed. That once you pass 9, you can never be 9 again. Got to put that one away. It's like, no, every age that you have, and then through this mimetic sequence, is that when you get through enough, the probability of you being able to factor out and produce more fruitage becomes, the probability or the potential becomes so vast that there's a teleological energy that's connecting you with this future. Now the problem is that is being disallowed. It's being allowed within certain cult factions because the cult itself, the community, solidifies a greater amplification of energy. When one person tries to goes about exercising principles, they're instantly shut down. They're singled out. They're alone doing it. And are they going to continue rallying for this support and calling out these cymatics, right? And changing the very structure with the belief, the faith rather, that purity reigns true, right? And that is, in essence, God. And it brings about a mathematics where you would stand before it and go, this is irrefutably God. And we were living in another dimension because we were practicing these stochastic methods, right, that were error producing mathematical efforts. We didn't see that this right in front of us, the simple path, was the way through, right? So we have to do everything within our possibility. But affiliation is something that needs to be discussed, and that is when you are making effort to champion up to a certain level, the thing that trips most people out, everyone in fact, and is the main stopper, right? The retarder, the place that you won't be able to go beyond, is once you get to this certain status of mind development, physical development, there's this sound, this alarm that goes off, where all these people who are involved with these occult communities begin to see that you are an entered apprentice, whether you see yourself as that or not. You're within the Masonic jungle. You are an initiate, right? And you're either going to go toward the right-hand path and the left, or the left-hand path, and the right-hand path is so rarely chosen. Like if you think you're a Christian and you're right-hand path, think again. Don't kid yourself. There is no guarantee that the principles that you're trying to espouse, that you follow, have anything to do with a true right-hand path practitionership. Now, the right-hand path is the 6 spheres, and you're going to have to build up a healthy ego. And that's the most difficult thing. So most people that become industrious and look like they have healthy egos, the ones that are out, right? Like Johnny Depp is a perfect example. No healthy ego, no ego at all, complete fabrication. Didn't need to build an ego, just started to follow the code of ritualistic sacrifice, and studying magic, doesn't talk about it, and saw that. Zachary King's the perfect example, where he talks about when he's a kid and he's being inducted, how this voice, this intelligence knows where he's at. And when he began to use this magic and start to sacrifice things for other, that got to sacrifice something physical to get something physical, right? So it's this world of cause and effect, where this lower level Yahweh is trying to instruct you and teach you on how to gain this sort of, or lure you into this God status that you'll never achieve, right? So there's this celebration, but it's a mock celebration. But the odd thing is that this has gone on for quite some time. Like the left-hand path, the dark side, has been reigning, right? And understanding the process. It's not a hard process, but it's very difficult for people, especially if you have built the soul up and you've built purity up. You'll feel yourself dying. You'll feel yourself searing away. You'll feel the burn of it, the sting, and then you'll feel the blackness and the darkness. And I can tell you that from experience. And then when you try to build up a soul again, right, you can come back with even more fervor, even more energy. But there's nothing in this space that promotes you back into it becoming a momentum-based operation. The left-hand path builds momentum through its own circuitries, but the right-hand path is being stopped up. And there's so many quasi-fake posing aspects to the right-hand path. You know, John Dee, Spinoza, Thomas Aquinas, all these people, Burbank, on and on. And it leads you toward this path where you're looking at, the OTO and Rosicrucianism, and it leads you right back to the carnal path, to where if you're not really perspicaciously putting your mind into this and venturing into this really deeply, you'll be tricked very easily, very quickly, right? So this is one tough world, I'll tell you.